Hi, everybody. Um, I wanted to make a video about 10.9 because this is definitely something not even close to what we've really done before. So, I'm going to do three different types of math problems for you guys, and we're going to work through these. I will try to go as slow as possible. And please, please, please repeat these as many times as you need when you're going on to Go Math to try to do this, okay? So, the first thing with finding the figures on the coordinate plane, I'm on Unlock the Problem if you get to see that on your Go Math. But basically what it says is the world's largest book is a collection of photographs from the Asian national nation, of Bhutan. A book collector models the rectangular shape of the open book in a coordinate plane. Each unit of the coordinate plane is represents 1 foot. The book collector plots the vertices on the rectangle. A is 9, 3, B is 2, 3, C is 2, 8, and D is 9, 8. What are the dimensions of the open book? Sorry, that was my teeth opening up a silly marker. Okay, so let's plot our points. Let's start with A is 9, 3. I'm going to go over 9, up 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's put a dot here and let's mark that A, okay? Let's go B. Sorry. Yes, B is 2, 3. So let's go over 2, up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and let's mark that B. C is 2, 8 over 2 up 8. So right up here. And we'll mark that C. And D is 9, 8 over 9 up 8. Let's mark that D. Guess what? Now I can connect these lovely dots. Let's see what we get here. Okay. So now you see that I have a lovely rectangular shape, okay? So step 1 says complete the rectangle on the coordinate plane, which we have. We've put our plots on. We have connected the dots. Now, to find the distance between plots A and B, so here is my A and here is my B, okay? A is 9, 3, B is 2, 3. So let's write that down here. A is 9, 3, and B is 2, 3, okay? So now what you do is you recognize the y coordinates are the same. Remember, this is my x, this is my y. So my 3 and my 3 are the same, which tells me that the points are on a horizontal line that going this way, okay? The horizontal distance, step 2 says find the length of the rectangle. So yes, we could technically say, well, it's 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, 5 squares, 6 squares, 7 squares, right? 7 squares. Fantastic. The other thing that you're going to need to know how to do is to find the distance of A from 0 and B from 0. We're going to take our x number, which is 9 and 2, and we are going to find the absolute value of 9 and the absolute value of 2, which absolute value just means the distance of this particular number from 0. So this is 9 points from 0. This is 2 points from 0. Then I take those, so absolute value of 9 is 9, absolute value of 2 is 2, okay? And you take 9, subtract 2, and you also get 7. That's only one part, so hold on, we're not done. Find 3, this was our length, okay? This is our length. Now part 3 says let's find our width. So to find the width is the distance between C and B. Here's my C. Sorry, let's get that up there. Here's my C. Here's my B right here. So now I have to take these. Let's see, what was my C coordinate? C coordinate was 2 and 3. 2 and 8. Sorry, I can't read. And my B was 2 and 3. Okay. Now I take those and I'm going to also subtract the difference. So let's see here. Now I'm going to subtract my Y because my X's are the same. Do you see that? Okay, because these are going to be on the vertical line like this. See how they're the same? We're going to leave those be because they're on the vertical line. Now I want to take 8 and subtract 3 from it, okay? But we're also going to do the absolute value again. So you better get in the good habit of doing your absolute values because sometimes you're going to have negative numbers. And in fact, those are coming up in one of the next shapes we're going to do. So absolute value of 8 is 8. Absolute value of 3 is 3. And if you take 8 and you subtract 3 from it, we get 5. Let's verify that in our shape. 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares, 4 squares, 5 squares. I think we're sitting pretty good. 5 is my width. Okay, so the dimensions of the open book are 7 feet by 5 feet. Okay. Again, I plotted my points, started with my horizontal points, A and B. Okay. Figured out this is my X. Look at this. I made my Y look like an X. That would be confusing to some of you. I can see that. And this is my X. Okay. My Y's are the same, so I leave them alone. But I take my absolute values and subtract them from each other. Then I come over here. By the way, that was my length. I come over here to find the width, and I realize my X's are the same because now my shape, I'm trying to find the distance between the vertical here. And I realize I need to take the absolute value of my Y values. So that's 8 and 3, and 8 and 3 is 5. So that gives me 7 feet by 5 feet. Also, I wanted to let you know, we will discuss this in a future shape, but this right here, you are subtracting absolute values, okay, because they are in the same coordinate. Remember, this is coordinate 1. They are in the same coordinate. When they are in different coordinates, so let's pretend I had a shape going like this, which we will very soon. That's one of our next ones. Guess what? If I had to find the point, the vertice here, and vertice here, you'll see that they are in different coordinates, which means rather than finding absolute value and subtracting, we will be adding them, okay? So let's move on to math problem number 2. So this was number 1. Okay. I sure appreciate you guys sticking with me through this. This is so fun to try to hold it still and not make it so dizzy for you guys with my left hand and try to hold the paper down at the same time, but we'll get there, guys. Okay. Step 2. 3 vertices of a parallelogram, PQRS, are P is plot 0.42, I'm sorry. Q is 3 and negative 3, and R is negative 3 and negative 3. Give the coordinates of vertex S and graph the parallelogram. So let's start graphing some points here. Okay, PQRS. So I know P is over 4 up to, let's label that P. Q is positive 3, negative 3. Okay, so over 3 up 3 right here. Is that Q? Did I not graph? Oh my gosh, I did not graph that right. Sorry. positive 3, negative 3. See? Easy mistake. Okay. PQR. So I now have negative 3, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. And this is R. But our job is to find out what S is. All right? So I have PQR. Well, guess what? The definition of a parallelogram is having two separate sets of parallel lines. All right? So let's try this. The opposite sides of a parallelogram are parallel. They have the same length. That's what that also means. So since the length side of RQ is 6 units, let's look at RQ and see if that's actually correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guess what that means, guys? This one better be 6 units too. Here's 1 unit. Here's 2. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my S right here. This was my missing S. And now I can connect these dots. It's not a perfect square. You can see the slanted lines. There's no 90-degree angles, but it is a parallelogram, which means these two sides will never touch. These two sides will never touch. And these two are going to be the same length, and these two are going to be the same length. So if you are asked on a homework question or a class question, find the missing side, you just have to figure out how many units the bottom one is or the side one is to find the missing vertice. Okay? And now it does ask you to plot that or to figure out the points or the coordinates. Goodness gracious, I cannot talk tonight. Let's see. My X is negative 2. My Y is positive 2. Boom. S. S is negative 2, positive 2. Okay? That is a fun one. All right, so this is problem number 2. Let's roll on to problem number 3. This one's a fun one. Okay, I'm going to hold this still while I flip my magic teacher book. Nope, don't do that, Google. Okay. All right. I am now on share and show just in case you're following along. If you even are, I'm not even sure. But it basically says the vertices of triangle ABC are A is negative 1, positive 3, B is negative 4, negative 2, and C is positive 2, negative 2. So let's go ahead and graph those, okay? We'll plot our points. So A is negative 1, positive 3. Negative 1, positive 3. This is my A right there. Okay. B is negative 4, negative 2. Negative 4, negative 2. Look, almost made the same mistake again. Goodness gracious. All right, and C is positive 2, negative 2. Positive 2, negative 2. Now I've got my C. Pretty sure we can connect these now safely. And by the way, if you guys do not have graph paper at home, just get a ruler and use some lined paper if you have to if it helps you make the grid. Because, you know, sometimes drawing a whole grid on one of these Wipey Write boards, oh, look at all my marks I made. On the Wipey Write boards, if you even have one at home, that can be kind of hard. So get some lined paper. And if you do not have any lined paper at home, shoot me a message. I will get some to you. Absolutely. No problem. All right. So horizontal distance from B to 0 is my negative 4. So let's actually write down my points. I'm so sorry. A, B, C. So A is negative 1, positive 3. B is negative 4, negative 2. And C is positive 2, negative 2. Perfect. Okay. So let's see. B. Did I write that right? Oh, I sure did. Okay. So do you see how B and C have the same y, remember this is my x right here, this is my y. So I want to take my x's and I want to see what my absolute value will be. Well, the absolute value of -4 is 4. That tells me -4 is 4 spaces from 0. Remember, this is 0. It tells me it's 4 spaces from 0. Absolute value of +2, whoops, didn't mean to do that, equals 2. Boom. And now, because the points are in different quadrants, look at this, remember this, different quadrants, not the same. So now I'm not going to subtract, I'm going to add 4 plus 2, and that gives me 6 units. Okay, that is the answer. Graph the triangle and find the length of side BC. I did that. Here's side BC, or line segment BC. It is 6 units, and I did not subtract. Again, remember, different quadrants, you add. Same quadrant, so kind of like that parallelogram that was up here in quadrant 1, that is when you subtract their absolute values. But this time I found the absolute values, but I had to add them, okay? I really, really, really hope this helps you guys. I pray it helps you guys. Please reach out to me if you are confused. I am doing a Zoom video chat. I just want to see how this works. So if any of you are able to get on tomorrow, 10 a.m., try to get on about 9:55-ish. I hope that works. And I just want to see your smiling faces, and we'll see how we go. But I'm hoping that Zoom works so that we can probably do some live math classes, because I know a lot of you are really struggling at home, and I seriously don't blame you. I could do just about anything except for math when I had to do online courses in high school. So I will talk to you guys later. And so this is 10.9. Do not forget that. And I'll post this under 10.9. And my next video should be the chapter 10 review. And I know that will help you guys. And I'll make sure all of the formulas and whatnot that we had to use to find I can't even talk. My goodness. All the formulas to find the area of the different shapes. Okay. That will all be on that video. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.